a little more of a thought experiment than talking about any of the actual news because I don't really care that Canada's on fire. I do eventually want to talk about these ice involved shootings, but I want to let a little more information come out because if I've learned anything, it's these things blow up, and then one thing gets said, another thing gets said, everyone picks their side, and no one sees the truth. So I'm gonna let this thing burn for a minute, and then see where it goes and what's actually going on. But in the meantime, I want to talk about something that I've noticed in my life, especially recently, that I'm sure a lot of people have noticed as well. Something that I've talked to a few people about, a couple friends of mine, and something I've realized. Sometimes there are people in your life, they're only there when things are good. Sometimes there are people in your life that are the reason things are bad. And this is a personal problem that we've been having, my wife and I. Now, I will say that's one person who's never changed. My wife's always been there. But her, I guess, adopted side of the family is probably the best way to put it, has, since I've lost my job, has had some opinions about me, about us, about our relationship. Essentially telling her she should leave me because I'm a piece of shit, because I got fired. Okay. I don't enjoy that, but that's the way we took what was said. And we're deciding, well, maybe we're going to tap the brakes with some of these people. Now, these were people that didn't have a problem with me, or at least didn't voice a problem with me when I was working, when I was making money. They, no, yeah, he's all right. As soon as I lose my job, you should leave him. He's a piece of shit. I had some friends that used to talk to me every day that I haven't heard from for weeks since I lost my job. Like, well, now that you don't make money, I have nothing to say to you. Now that you're unemployed, I don't have anything to say to you. Okay. Okay. And all this stuff kind of hurts a little bit, but at the end of the day, you're like, I don't care. Now I have a friend who I hadn't talked to in a minute, and because I wasn't working, I ended up talking to this friend, and my wife and I have been hanging out with this friend, and we've been enjoying our time with someone who actually just wants to spend time with us. So we went from a group of people that, as soon as things went south, were like, you're fucking pathetic, to one person who's not going to judge us. One person who's like, oh, you can't afford to do something, so let's do something else. Let's watch a movie at your house. Let's fucking, we'll just hang out. Just be in each other's company and we'll be friends and we'll enjoy each other's company. Now, I'm not saying that the first group of people ever asked me for money or anything. No, that never happened. No. But I do find it interesting that even though in the 7 years I've been with my wife, and the most I've ever been without a job has been a few months. When my wife and I first got together, I think I was out of a job. We got together, I found a job shortly after, and I worked for 4 years straight with no problem. Maybe 5 years straight with no problem. Got fired from one job, and it started this downward spiral over the past 3 years where jobs are garbage, the money's not good. I had a really good job. I had a really good job hauling windows, and I got caught carrying my Glock, and I got fired. This was years ago. I got fired because I had zero tolerance for firearms. And everyone says, oh, you're stupid. Everyone says, oh, you're an idiot. Why would you carry your gun if you knew you were going to get fired? Why would you do this? Why would you do that? Well, because I believe more in protecting people than money. I believe more in doing the right thing than money. Money doesn't matter to me. And nobody seems to understand that. Even my dad. He's like, why would you risk a job to carry your gun? I'm like, well, what? Because I don't see it as risking a job to carry a gun. I see it as risking someone's life to not. Maybe my own, maybe someone I care about, maybe someone I'm friends with at work. I'm not going to risk your life or mine because there's a sign on the door that says, no, don't do that. It's just the way I'm wired. People don't get it. So, yeah, I lost this job. It's a great job, and no one said anything then. So I found another job, and I worked for FedEx for about a year, and I realized I can't do midnights anymore. The midnights was killing me. I was falling asleep driving. Midnights was terrible for me. So I found the job that I had most recently. And all the while, no one ever said anything bad about me. I was a great guy, wonderful person. And then I get fired, and all of a sudden, it's been 2.5 months or something, and all of a sudden I'm a shitbag. We're able to pay the bills. My wife told me, we can keep the bills paid, so find a good job. Don't just dive on the first thing. Find a good job. We can pay the bills. Find something good. Was our agreement. Everyone's acting like I'm some piece of shit because I'm looking for a good job instead of taking something that pays $13 an hour, and yeah, at least it's a job. Well, yeah, okay. But at least it's a job doesn't really help us as much as if I can find a good job that has things like health insurance and a retirement plan. My wife wants me to find these things, assuming this doesn't one day blow up and become a huge successful thing that I do for the rest of my life. My wife is sitting here saying, we need retirement. We need some sort of health insurance, good health insurance. So let's find you a job that has that because we can afford to pay the bills right now. We're just scraping by. Don't get me wrong. It's paycheck to paycheck. We're riding the struggle bus a little bit. We've had to make some serious cuts. But the people in my life that went from, oh yeah, he's a good guy, to he's a piece of shit. He's a degenerate. He's not even trying. People that don't see me putting in 50 applications in 2 months. That's almost one a day. That's at least one a day almost, for excluding weekends. They don't see the hours fighting with unemployment to try to get unemployment. They don't see any of this stuff behind the scenes. All they see is, well, he rode his dirt bike yesterday. So the fuck what? So what? Yeah, I rode my dirt bike. Sue me. Well, you gonna arrest me for riding a dirt bike? What am I supposed to just not? I'm just not allowed to enjoy anything while I'm not working. A buddy of mine had a day where he got off work early and we went shooting. Am I just supposed to be like, oh yeah, no, I can't go shooting. I'm unemployed. No, I'm gonna go shooting. Like, it's insane the way people are acting, and it just made me wonder. Eventually, everyone's gonna back away at some point. Everyone has their limit. What happens when you find yourself backed into a corner and it's just you? Well, fortunately, I haven't been there yet. I've lost some friends. I lost a real good friend. We were friends for almost 10 years. And he chose some girl that he just met over me. And I still, to this day, well, actually, at this point, I don't care. And I hope for the best for him. And I hope he's doing well. I harbor no resentment. But that's not what fucked me up. What fucked me up was putting the loyalty into somebody who, as soon as they got the slightest attention from a woman, disappeared from my life. That fucked me up. It made it hard for me to trust people. And so now I know at some point everyone is going to say, okay, I'm out. There's something better for me. And it makes me wonder, what do you do when you get to that point? I mean, I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep doing what I do. I don't need a lot of people in my life. I've always said that quality is better than quantity when it comes to friends. I would rather have one good friend that I call and I say, hey, I need you here right now. Bring your truck, bring whatever, bring tools, bring jumper cables, whatever it is. Hey, I'm fucked here. Here's the situation. Bring this. Or, hey, I'm fucked here. Go to my house and get this. Go to my house and get my wife's car because it's got a winch. I'm buried. Go to my house. You know where the spare keys are. Go to the house. Get my wife's car, and here's where I'm at. I'm stuck. I'm buried. I'm fucked up. Or someone that I can call and say, hey, I just wiped out on my dirt bike. Think my arm's broken. I need someone to come pick me up. Here's where I'm at. I would rather have one person that I can do that no matter what time it is, no matter where it is, when it is. If I'm in fucking West Virginia and I'm like, yeah, I found trails and I got hurt, I'm 5 hours away. Can you come get me? And they'll go, I'll be there in 3. I would rather have that than have 10 people that are like, oh, I'm your buddy. Oh, you don't have a job, so you're not fun to hang out with? All right, well, see you later. Because that's what I've been noticing a lot of lately. There's been a handful of people that are like, yeah, no, I enjoy your company and I want to do stuff with you. Most notably, my brother. My brother went out and bought a dirt bike because I fucking asked him to. I said, hey, you should buy a dirt bike. And he went, I would consider buying a dirt bike. Now, he had just bought a Harley at this point. So he had his old motorcycle, an old Yamaha. And he was like, I'll tell you what, if I can sell the Yamaha, I'll buy a dirt bike. I'm like, okay, cool. And at first, because I was working at the time, I was like, actually, what if I just buy the Yamaha? And he was like, yeah, okay. I'm like, because then we can ride dirt bikes together, we can ride motorcycles together, like, cool, you know? And at first that was the plan, and then work hit a brick wall and then slowed way down, and then I ended up getting fired almost a year later. But everything happens for a reason, right? Because my brother sold that bike to someone else, and the guy a day later was like, hey, the bike broke down. Would you consider taking it back? And my brother was like, no, man, no. Like, you bought it. It's your problem now. So everything happens for a reason. It's a good thing I didn't buy that bike because then I'd had another vehicle that's broken down, and I have enough vehicles that are broken down. However, the difference between someone who says you're only fun to hang out with when you have money and the person who says, well, I don't have a dirt bike. I don't have money for a dirt bike, but if I can sell this old motorcycle that I'm not going to ride anymore, yeah, I'll buy a dirt bike. I'll go ride dirt bikes with you. That's the quality I'm looking for. I have a brother who has it all. Dirt bikes, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, Jeeps, and I love hanging out with him when I get to, but it's not often that I get to. My other brother, he's got some guns, he's got a motorcycle, now he's got a dirt bike, and we hang out all the time. And a lot of times it's me going over to his house and just bullshitting with him and hanging out with him. It's not some big extravagant performance. It's just hanging out with each other, enjoying each other's companies. And we wargame the apocalypse a lot. That's like our favorite thing to do. It drives our wives nuts. I'm sure they're so tired of hearing about our plans for the apocalypse. But we wargame the shit out of the apocalypse. Like zombie apocalypse, like tyrannical government apocalypse. Like if there's an apocalypse, we've talked about it. It is one of our favorite subjects. However, my point is, I would rather have my two brothers who I know if I call them, they'll drop everything. If I call them and say, I fucked up, I need help, they'll do whatever they can to help me. Then have 50 friends who say, yeah, I'm your best bud. And then when I say, I'm hungry and I have no money, they go, oh man, I'll see you later. I'm going to Taco Bell. If I'm out somewhere and my brother's with me, he feeds me. Give you an example. When my brother bought his dirt bike, We took my car, my trailer. We went to go get his dirt bike. Okay, right? That's what you do. You're helping out your brother. You're doing something for your brother. You're gonna go get your dirt bike. I talked you into buying a dirt bike. Now we're gonna fucking go get it. We can use my trailer. So we use my trailer to go get his dirt bike, and he buys me lunch. Perfect. That's all I wanted. I don't care about the gas. I don't care about the hassle of going and getting the trailer. I will say getting a trailer is kind of a pain in the ass because I keep the trailer at my dad's, and so it's a big fucking back and forth thing. And dad lives over here, and my brother lives over here, and I live in the middle, so I'm fucking zigging and zagging and backtracking. And it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I'm not complaining. Keeping the trailer at my dad's house keeps it out of my way. It's not the worst thing in the world. But I don't mind doing all that to hook up my trailer to go help my brother because I know my brother would do the same for me. Does he have a trailer? No. Does he have a truck? Not anymore. But when he had a truck, he came and pulled me out. And if he couldn't pull me out, he got someone to come pull me out when I got stuck being a dumbass. More than once. It's just infuriating that I've seen so many people turn their backs because of money. I've seen people turn their backs because of women. I've seen people turn their backs over the dumbest things. Long-term friendships wasted overnight. Over a girl, over a car, over me getting a raise. I had friends that stopped talking to me because I started making more money. Tried to get those friends into the job where I was, and I told them, no, you're not going to make the same amount of money that I'm making because I have a CDL and I'm driving semi, but you'll be making good money driving a box truck and you don't need a CDL for it. You're making great money. And they said, no, I don't want to. And then they got mad at me for making good money. And they started to grow apart because the resentment grew. I'd rather have 2 of my brothers, who I can call whenever, than have 10 of those friends that'll say, man, I wish I could make money like you. Well, you get in where I'm at, they'll start you in a box truck and they may send you to school to get your CDL and you will make the same money I make. You might make more money than I make, honestly. And they said no. So no, I don't want to do that. I don't want it. I don't want to work where you work. I want to do it on my own. Oh, was it that, or was it that you didn't want to work with me in the first place because I'd have been more successful than you, because I'd have made a little bit more money than you, and you had to be the number one? I don't know. I just find it interesting to see how people act when things go bad in a friend's life. When things go bad and someone who you're close to is on the down, are you going to still say, that's my friend, I don't care? Or are you going to say, oh, they're poor and they're not fun to hang out with? Unfortunately, I've gotten the they're not fun to hang out with. So, been left behind by a few people, I guess. Oh well. It is what it is, folks. Just a fun thought experiment. What's your plan for when your friends decide you're not fun anymore, or when your friends decide you're not successful enough anymore, or when your friends decide you're too successful? Because I know when I started making good money, the first thing I was willing to do was share it with my friends. I was willing to help my friends out in any way I could. And then I developed the rule that I don't loan people money. Because I got burned a time or two. Or I, bought someone lunch and I was like, yeah, pay me back whenever. Or you get lunch next time. And the next time never came. So when you find yourself all alone, and there's 3 people in your phone that you can talk to, what do? Do you break and go, this is it, this is rock bottom, everyone hates me, and curl up in a ball and cry yourself to sleep? Or do you go, well, at least I know who's real. At least I know who's actually there for me. And you start building with those people. Personally, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, well, at least I know who's real, and I'm going to build with those people. And the people that aren't real, sorry, got nothing for you. Got nothing to say. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I just wanted to chat about this. This is something that was kind of on my mind, and I watched a few videos that kind of touched on similar things, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to talk about this. I kind of want to put my thoughts on this out there. So, and remember, no matter how alone you are, there's always someone. There's always someone. I mean, I got a wife. I always have someone. I'm my little hostage. She can't go anywhere. I gave her Stockholm syndrome and food. So that's the key, gentlemen. If you're looking for a wife, you just annoy the shit out of the girl you like until she finally says yes, and then you feed her, and then you take her home and you watch a movie or something with her, and when she falls asleep, you got to do this in the wintertime. Okay, here's life advice for the boys, for the young men watching. You really, really want to find a wife. You take her to dinner, get her some good food. And I'm not saying expensive, I'm saying good food. It has to be good food. It has to be the kind of food that's going to make her sleepy. Then you take her back to your house and you guys watch a movie together. Women fall asleep within the first 8 minutes of a movie 100% of the time. It's the way they're wired. It's a defense mechanism. You put on this movie and you let her fall asleep. And then you carry her up to bed, and you have to do this in the wintertime. I cannot stress to you how important this is that you do this in the wintertime. You carry her up to bed, and you let her snuggle up to you all night and absorb all your warmth, and she will never leave you because now she knows that you're warm. And what do women hate? Being cold. Life advice for the boys. You want to pull the 10 out of 10, and you got no game. Feed her good. Put on a movie that's going to make her fall asleep. Keep her warm all night. She'll never leave you. She will never leave. She'll be like, this is my personal space heater. She won't even introduce you as her boyfriend at that point. She'll just be like, this is my guy that keeps me warm. That's how I did it. That's how I did it, folks. You can't pull. If you have no game, you got to feed them. You got to keep them warm. And they will never leave you. To this day, my wife refuses to leave me because I'm warm. Just putting it out there. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. So, just remember, no matter how many people turn their back on you, you're going to meet new people. You're going to make new friends. You might be alone right now, but you're not going to be alone forever. You're not going to be alone for the rest of your life. You're alone right now. And if you tough it out, you work on you, or work on your business, or work on whatever it is, work on you, work on your thing, or maybe you just want to learn a new skill. Well, you're all alone. Start learning. You're alone. You're not spending your time hanging out with your friends. You're not going out drinking. Learn a new skill. Take the time to better yourself, and more people will come. I'll give you an example real quick. When my brother and I rock climbed all the time, there were groups of people that we didn't know closely because we weren't trying to make close friends with these people, but there were people that we saw all over the place. And it would be like, oh, hey, man, what's up? I recognize you from the gym. We climb over in Youngstown all the time. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, I've seen you a time or two. And if we'd have stuck to it, and if we'd have worked to build that rapport more and build those relationships, those might have been lifelong friends. At the time, that's not what we needed. We were more worried about the physical fitness aspect of it. It was more a means to an end, more so than a community building. But yeah, that's there's always more people coming. If you get into a new hobby, you're going to make new friends, and those might be your lifelong friends that are never going to leave you, no matter if you're broke, no matter if you're homeless, no matter if you're a millionaire, they'll never leave. Anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to touch on that, and I do mean it about the advice for women. That is the best way to get a woman, is feed her and make her warm. Anyway, with all that being said, I'll leave it there.